Welcome to Hip Hop Movie Club, the show that harmonizes the rhythm of hip hop with the magic of movies. Today we're discussing Next Friday, the first sequel to the comedy classic Friday, starring Ice Cube, Mike Epps, and John Witherspoon. We're three old heads who put their old heads together to vibe on these films for you. I'm Dino Wright, podcaster, filmmaker, longtime hip hop fan, and I was 16 years old on the day of Ice Cube's Good Day, which is thought to be January 20th, 1992.
Nice. I'm JB, 80s and 90s nostalgia junkie, longtime hip-hop fan, and chickity check yourself before you wreck yourself is definitely part of my daily lexicon.
Yes.
Nice. I'm Boogie, a DJ, longtime hip-hop fan, and this movie contains one of my all-time favorite joints. You Can Do It.
Yes.
Put your back into it.
Classic. Love that song.
That's a great song. In this episode, we'll answer the question, is Next Friday equally as funny as the original in this series? And we'll give you 5 key takeaways to make you a smarter hip-hop movie fan.
And Next Friday, Debo, the terrifying bully, escaped prison and is out for revenge on Craig. To escape, Craig seeks refuge in the suburbs with his uncle Elroy and cousin Day Day. However, the burbs are no field day for Craig and Day Day, as the Joker brothers prove to be worthy foes. In this one, there's slightly less weed, but just as much adventure. Here are 5 things you need to know about Next Friday. 1. There's no Chris Tucker, but Ice Cube proves that he can carry the film as the main star. 2. The late John Witherspoon shows off his signature ridiculous humor. 3. Jacob Vargas as Big Joker is a hoot. 4. We wanted more Debo, but at least he drives the plotline. And 5. The soundtrack features some prominent hip-hop artists and is punctuated by the memorable You Can Do It by Ice Cube, Mack 10, and Miss Toy. All right, let's dig into Next Friday. First takeaway, we mentioned there is no Chris Tucker in this one, but Ice Cube does prove he can carry the film as the main star. I thought he was relatable in this one as he was in the original, and he kind of carried more of the starring role. Boogie, what do you think about Cube in this one as Craig?
Yeah, I think in this movie, Ice Cube really starts to flex his star power. I think he takes it up a notch. In Friday, a lot of the crazy over-the-top antics and one-liners were coming from Chris Tucker. But as we see in this movie, there's no Chris Tucker, which they actually did fill up the plot hole by saying that Smokey went away to rehab, which makes sense because he did smoke a lot. But we do see that Ice Cube has the capacity to carry a movie, and he does really well with this one. I mean, we have Mike Epps playing his cousin Day Day, who's funny in his own way. But, this is where we really get to see that Ice Cube has what it takes. And he has some good antics in the movie and interaction with the other characters. And, yeah, I think he did really well.
Yeah, Dino Wright, what were your thoughts on Craig's role in this one, or the way Ice Cube portrayed him?
I think he did really well. I do think not having Chris Tucker hurt a lot. And I think it's kind of unfair to compare Mike Epps and Chris Tucker. They're completely different kind of comedic actors. But I really missed Smokey. I don't think this film is as good as Friday. Like, not close. But I think Boogie's right. I think you really see Ice Cube flex his muscles more, as the star of a movie. He did write this film as he did Friday with DJ Pooh. And this is the first of this production company, his own production company, Cube Vision. So he's starting to make his move. There are other issues, but Craig and Ice Cube isn't one of them.
I liked Ice Cube's portrayal in this one. Like I said, Craig's a normal guy. He's easy to root for. He's a guy who likes to just hang out, toke up, have a good time, chases some skirts around, has to shake the embarrassment of his dad's odd idiosyncrasies, and then his uncle's fetishes. Craig has some fantasies, which that was a theme in the first one as well. And then there were some scenes that I think he stole the show, which I was laughing a lot. to the mailman or the delivery guy, Michael Rappaport, played by Michael Rappaport.
Yes.
I love the line where it's like, I play for the Cucamonga Cracker Killers and want tickets.
Yes.
I laughed at that. I like the scene when there was the African man, literally from
Michael
Africa,
Yeah.
was making a big scene and causing a stir in Pinky's record store, which Day Day was working at. And Craig beat him down. He took care of it because he's the tough guy now since he had stood up to Debo in the first one. And then the standoff with Pinky, when Pinky, the owner of the record store, thinks he's robbing the store, and then there's, sticks him up, and they're battling for the gun. I thought Ice Cube did a good job with Craig on those parts, those scenes. Yeah, I liked it in terms of Craig's role.
Yeah, those scenes in Pinky's were funny. Definitely funny.
Yeah.
Michael Blackson, who portrayed an African, I can't get jiggy with this.
That was really good.
He's trying to go off one day.
He was one of the best parts that we didn't get enough of that. I thought, like, that kind of stuff. Friday had all kinds of stuff like that, and we didn't get that.
Yeah,
but fun fact: Michael Blackson is Eli Apple from the Dolphins, his uncle.
No way.
At least the internet said so. The internet said
I didn't know that.
Michael Blackson's his uncle.
Is Eli Apple? Eli Apple used to be on the Giants too. Yeah, He was on the Giants. He was on the Bengals. He's bounced around a bit. He's kind of sometimes he gets burnt on these pass plays, but he's been around a while. So kudos to Eli Apple.
Michael Blackson. That short cameo or that short role he had was like the umfufu bit from Eddie Murphy Raw, like come to life.
Yes.
I felt like they took it right out of Eddie Murphy. Eddie.
But it was so funny how he's going off and then like Craig just walks behind him and just
like kind of like flicking a fly away, like, all right, get out of here.
And that initial interaction with Pinky was funny too. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he comes in looking like a pimp. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. And meanwhile, he's battling with Craig, and in the back, his buddies, Day Day and Roach are just toking up and having a good time. They're oblivious to what's going on on the main floor there.
Yeah,
that was fun.
when Dewana and Baby D showed up, and she's chasing him. He's chasing Day Day around the car. And he's trying to give her a cookie.
Yeah.
And then she's like, she says that she wants to talk to Craig, and Daddy's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of threw under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He didn't take one for the team there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Baby D's like, no, I can't. I'm trying to cut down. She still takes a bite of the cookie. Oh, man.
Lady of
and
Rage,
then I mentioned
hilarious.
The character of Roach briefly was played by Justin Pierce, who was this skateboarder that we had mentioned in All the Streets Are Silent, who unfortunately died at a young age. He was only like 25. So it kind of ties back. He was skateboarding inside of Pinky's on the counter, and then later on, the skateboard gets broken by the Jokers, run it over. Yeah, so those are some good scenes. Yeah.
It was. I was like, "Who's in? He's in this. She's in this." I kept doing that all through the movie. Like, wow.
Yeah.
So it's just to show how influential Ice Cube was, even in 2000, right? In 1999, 2000.
Yeah. So speaking of the cast, it's a good segue. Our takeaway number 2 is late John Witherspoon shows off his signature ridiculous humor. He had me in stitches in this one as well. But you want to take us through some of his highlights?
Yeah, boy. So, John, he starts off immediately in the beginning of the movie as he's waiting for Craig. He slips and falls in freshly made dog poop. Then he gets in the truck and he's just like, they're trying to figure out what's going on. And it was funny because in the background here, Bad Luck playing by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. I'm like, wow, what a perfect song. But then
good needle drop.
As he drops Craig off, and he's like, trying to give Craig some words of wisdom, And Craig's like, man, I'm grown, man. I don't need to hear anything. He said, all right, we don't bring your butt back home. Classic Pops line right there.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes to the burrito place and he gets some hot sauce. He has to go. He's stuck in traffic on the way back to Rancho Cucamonga, but then he ends up running in the bathroom. He comes out and he's in the middle of the restaurant. But he opens the door and he just like the smell was like just comes out and everybody's face is just nauseated immediately. It's like what?
His
like
line right after that's really good though. He says, "You're all jealous." Yeah. that actually made me laugh. That was funny.
Classic Pops, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for 35 minutes.
Yeah, I saw someone had dropped a bomb on that one before he got in there too, right? And then it was. You could smell it through the TV. It was that bad. He was carrying his air freshener. He's carrying his air freshener with him. Yeah. That was.
But yeah, I'll let you guys chime in a little bit too. But he was just hilarious. Any scene he's in, he just makes you laugh.
He's got a way. His mannerisms, the way he talks. He's singing about that in the car while he's trying to hold in his how he's like, I shouldn't have had that hot sauce. He starts singing about it, and then at the one point he's spraying the air freshener in Craig's face. And then the one thing, I'm going naked with your mama. I'm like walking around naked. He's talking about the Ball Johnson dance and stuff. I was dying.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh man.
That was over the top.
That was wild. Yeah. John Witherspoon.
I really enjoyed him riffing with DC Curry in this movie, who plays his brother.
Yeah.
I would have liked more of that. That was really good stuff. Uncle Elroy.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Good stuff. John Witherspoon, he's a scene stealer. We mentioned that in a few of our episodes.
Mm-hmm.
One of the great scene stealers in all of cinema.
Yeah. Remember the first one, the Public Enema?
Public Enema?
Oh man! I love how he took the whole bottle of hot sauce too. He took the whole bottle. Oh, Pops! What a Pops move!
Oh, man.
Pops. Yeah, rest in peace, John Witherspoon. More cast members that provided some comic relief. Jacob Vargas as Big Joker. I thought he was a riot. SA, the Latin guys. Boogie, you want to speak to what made you laugh about either Big Joker or maybe his brothers or their interactions with
all
these guys?
all three of those guys were hilarious because they were just like the exaggerated accent, the constant tough guy essay, and even I can't have mixed. Oh, Little Joker was the one that kept having had his Scully pulled down. He's like 4 foot nothing, or like tiny guy, but he's got like Napoleon complex. And he's like so tough, and he's like all about beating up Craig or Dede, and even when they sicken their dog Chico on Craig when he was trying to talk to their sister Carla, chasing him around, and like those guys, man. I could watch a movie with just those three guys and just have them have antics with them. They were hilarious.
Yeah, I liked them. There was one line, I think it was Big Joker. It was like, "Get out of here, Dede, and you too, Slim Shady." He called Roach Slim Shady because he's this white guy.
That was good.
And there was, and he was the one other line. He said, "This ain't the love connection,"
Yeah.
These little barbs were cracking me up because I was not expecting those. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed their caricature representations of actual Latin gang members.
Yeah, they were caricatures for that's exactly right.
That's a good way to put it, for sure. Yeah. And they had that what was a hydraulic cylinder with all the money in it. Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. We can't, go. The takeaway number 4 is Debo's role in this one is minimal, but it does drive the plot line at least. Debo, as everybody knows from the series, is the tiny lister, and he's the bully, and it drives the storyline is that he's now. This is 4 years after.
Well, I
Friday,
wasn't sure about that. Was he really
right?
4 years? I think I have to watch the beginning again, but it seemed like it was either like the next week, or it was 2 years ago, or it was 4 years ago. Was it the following week? I thought so.
He got sentenced for 4. He was supposed to get 4 years.
Yeah, he was sentenced for 4.
But he broke out the following week. Like the word on the street was that he was going to break out the following week.
Yeah,
and it was all going out throughout the neighborhood. And Pops got wind of it.
That's what I thought. All
right, Craig,
I
you gotta get out of
misunderstood
here.
it.
Yeah.
I got you. So it is the final next week. Okay. All right. That makes sense then. So he broke out early, breaking out in the orange jumpsuits, and they steal Tyrone. They steal a bike from the kid perfectly. That was appropriate, on brand. And ended up riding the tandem bike together at one point, which was classic.
Yeah, Tyrone on handlebars.
Played by Sticky Fingers, who we've seen in Too Deep. And I was looking at his IMDb. He's been in a ton of movies. I didn't realize this.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of movies. So good for him.
He played Blade for a little while.
Did he?
I think he played Blade in a TV show for a little while.
Okay. He was like Scrappy Doo in this movie. Someone reviewed this and said that Tyrone was Scrappy Doo.
Yeah.
Puppy power.
Scrappy Doo, yeah. That makes sense.
Rappy Roo. But most of the movie, the issue that we were talking about, most of the movie, Debo and Tyrone, they're stuck in Willie's, Craig's dad, animal control car like the entire time. And so you don't get to see that much interaction except them being uncomfortable and slapping each other around or yelling at each other until the end.
Yeah. It's like the one time they ran over to catch Craig before he left, and Willie put the foot to the gas and pulled off with Tyrone on the hood. He ends up falling off, and Willie just keeps on going.
And then when Debo when he finally gets out of the car and he confronts them, he gets knocked out by the family. I think was it Elroy and Willie? I think they both got a shot in on him. Yeah. So it wasn't not much Debo going on there.
Yep. The whole movie, like, all right, when's Debo going to arrive and when is all hell going to break loose?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah, then the final takeaway is the soundtrack. There's some prominent hip-hop artists, a lot of good hip-hop artists on it, but it's punctuated by the very memorable You Could Do It that you mentioned in the opening, Boogie. When that comes on during the end credits, you got to be bopping your head.
Yeah.
Yep.
So as soon as I hear that intro, dun, 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 I'm like, oh, there it is.
Great beat.
That's a banger. Yeah, it's a banger. The soundtrack features Aaliyah, NWA, Eminem, Wyclef Jean, Ja Rule, Wu-Tang Clan. You don't hear the songs all that loud and prominently, but if you did have the soundtrack back in the day, I don't know if you guys had it, but some great artists on that. For sure. Yeah. Any other songs stick out to you, Boogie? You're the of the.
Well, this soundtrack, I didn't own this soundtrack, and I don't necessarily remember too much about it. Nah, I really don't remember too much about the soundtrack. And I was looking at it for the when we were doing our notes and everything, and I was surprised by how many different artists were on here that I didn't even realize were on the soundtrack. But it's loaded with some heavyweights.
Yeah, it is.
You even got a couple of the Bone Thugs and Harmony brothers on. You got Busy Bone on one, Crazy Bone on one song. Busy Bone on another song. Wu-Tang Clan, Big Timers, Lil Wayne, Corrupt, Ja Rule. Like, wow.
It's
Yeah,
quite
it's
a
this
list of
loaded.
artists. Yeah. Yeah. But the most memorable, You Can Do It. It
Absolutely.
was awesome.
That
Yeah.
I
song
think it's
still gets the
the
party
best thing that
going.
came out of this movie.
Oh, jeez.
I said that song was so good it made it to Save the Last Dance. Oh man.
Nice. Other tidbits, if you have any, I did get a kick out of Miss Ho Kim as well. She was
She was very
talking
good.
kind of gangster. Yeah, she was pretty funny. I've seen her in a lot of other things. My kids used to like this show called Just Add Magic. I forget which streaming service it was on, but she was the motherly figure in that one. Yeah, you see her in a lot of things. If you look at her filmography, what is her name? I got to get her name to do it justice. But she was funny. If I can get
Yeah,
that.
she was funny.
Amy Hill. Yeah. Yeah. You know what's
She was
odd?
funny.
I looked through the cast. They list Reese Witherspoon. Was she really in this? Did you guys catch her at all in the background or something? I did
Yeah, I
not
was
see
trying
her.
to find her too. I'm like,
Where did you see that?
I just got it from the cast listing when I
Which cast listing?
Google it.
Really?
For next Friday. Yeah.
Was it
yeah, I saw
Messages.
recently.
was it a poster of another movie she was in Day Day's room? Was that what it was? I didn't pick up on
You never know.
any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that, so that may have been an error. But yeah, like you said, kind of right. A lot of
Reese
people were
Witherspoon
like,
is so
"Oh, wow."
related to John Witherspoon. Of course.
That's hilarious. I'm gonna have to look it up. If you Google Reese Witherspoon next Friday scene, there's something out there on TikTok. Is that maybe it was a deleted scene or something? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. It was a deleted scene.
Maybe there's a different version of it, but I did not notice her. But she popped up on the cast, and that surprised me. Yeah, but it's a good ensemble cast.
Yeah.
Like you said, Don Curry, Tiny Lister, Justin Pierce briefly, John Witherspoon, Mike Epps, Ice Cube, Clifton Powell. Yeah, Michael Blackson, Sticky Fingers. Yeah, Jacob Vargas. Very, very cool.
Yeah, and I like the DC Curry and John Witherspoon interactions. They actually do come back in the next movie.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they're in the next
Friday
movie.
after next, right? Yeah. Friday after next. Is that the next one? Yeah.
So we get more.
How many were there? Three? Were there three? Was that the last one? Or Friday, next Friday, Friday after next?
3. Yeah.
I thought they were talking about a fourth one.
They were talking about a fourth one, but it never came. Came to production. Yeah, and also Clifton Powell returns in small part in the next one as well.
Oh, good.
Oh,
yeah. It's good. Kim Whitley is hilarious too. Like,
yes, we haven't talked about her.
Yeah, she was she was a gem though. So when Uncle Elroy hit the lottery, his original wife passed away from shock of them winning, and now he's dating Sugar, played by Kim Whitley, and she's a handful.
To say the least.
She was trying to get a handful of some Craig.
Yep.
To say the least.
She did. She got two good handfuls.
Licking his face. Yeah. That was wild. Yeah, she was wild.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned her. She was funny.
Yeah. With Tamala Jones playing crazy Dewana, dating his ex-girlfriend, dating his pregnant ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
He's like, "That's not my baby."
Yeah.
Oh man,
He was trying to say she was already 3 months pregnant when he met her, or something like trying to do the math or something like that.
yeah, trying to do the math. Yeah, it didn't add up.
It didn't add up.
Yeah. So let's go around the room and give our ratings for next Friday. So, Boogie, I'll start with you as usual for next Friday.
Bring that funky flick
Bring
back.
that funky flick back, or leave it in the vault.
Bring that funky flick back. I haven't watched this in a while, and I forgot how funny it was, and now I look forward to watching the next one again. Now, and I got to go watch it.
Yeah. Got it right? Next Friday, bring that funky flick back, or leave it in the vault.
And a rare difference of opinion, I'm going to leave this in the vault. I think it's unfair to compare it to Friday, but here I am seeing that I just didn't move me as much as... I mean, Friday, I think, is a legitimate classic, and we can all quote lines from Friday, and Chris Tucker was just so electric in that movie that it's unfair to Mike Epps, because he was really funny in this too, but you sort of recycle some of the things from the first movie, and some of it's funny, and some of it's just like, oh, you just reheated this in the microwave. So it had some elements. I did enjoy some of it, but I'm leaving this in the vault.
Right. As for me, I will bring this funky flick back. I enjoyed it as much as the original, although it did not have the iconic lines that we recite, like "Bye Felicia" and "Damn." It still made me laugh a lot, and I would like to rewatch this. I'm a comedy fan, and it did tickle my funny bone quite a bit. So, for myself, I will say bring this funky flick back.
Hip Hop Movie Club is produced by your HHMCs, JB, Boogie, and Dino Wright. Theme, music by Boogie. Whether you're listening to the podcast or watching us on YouTube, please give us a follow. It's a real power-up for us. Thanks for tuning in.
Remember, don't hate, contemplate.
Woo-hoo. Look
As
inward.
Special Ed said, think about it.
There you go.
I love that
Would you-
song too.
Oh, I love it.
Man.
One of my favorite lines, would you join the Navy if you didn't like the gravy and rice?
Gravy and rice.
Think about it. Think about it.
That's good.
Oh, man.
That's good.
Special Ed to me is one of the most underrated rappers of all time. Give me a simple beat and clean delivery, and I'm sold. Yeah.
Yeah. When that album came out, I played that cassette over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go listen to that again now. Yeah. Between Think About It, I Got It Made, and I'm the Magnificent. Like, I would put those on rotation.
I'm the Magnificent. Oh.
I
Those three.
I know almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those three.